Hey, what's going on, guys? Sean from planningfire.com here again. This time talking about something that's obviously going to be important no matter what you're doing on your path to financial success and freedom, and that's obviously going to be budgeting. Budgeting is always a hot topic. If you don't know what you're spending, you really can't control it, and that makes it such an important thing to really lock down, whether at the household level or the individual level, depending on where you are. People 30 years ago absolutely had budgets, just like we do today. However, the things that they budgeted for tended to be a lot less complex and a lot less confusing. They primarily had, rent or mortgage, car payment, insurance, groceries, electricity, maybe oil or gas, depending on what their heat was. But they also had to budget for they also didn't have to budget for things that we have to budget for today, such as internet and cell phones, as well as any other accessory services like microservices, your Netflix, your Amazon Prime, your Hulu, your Twitch, whatever it may be. So our budgets have gotten a lot more complicated. But personally speaking, I like to do budgeting in a way that's a little bit different from the norm. I don't try to necessarily grab all of my expenses that I think I'll have for the month, write those down, and use that as my budget. Personally, what I do is I talk about what's called the non-negotiables. Non-negotiable is really having to identify everything that you absolutely need to survive, and then taking that and knowing what you have to make per month to at least live. This helps quite a bit on your path to financial independence because you know exactly how much you have to make every month to at least survive, and it also helps you to identify things that perhaps you don't consider to be critical. So, a couple of things that you might find interesting. I will absolutely call internet 100% critical. And the reason for that is the ability to find a high-value, high-paying job on the internet is much easier when you have it than when you don't. Now, of course, if you're someone who lives very close to an open Wi-Fi hotspot and you can reach it, perhaps internet's not going to be the most important thing for you. But if you're one of the many people who live in a rural or suburbia area where there is no open accessible internet, having access to it is key because you're going to be able to find a much better job, you're going to have a lot more opportunities, and that will help you get back on your feet quickly. Another item that's obviously non-negotiable for most people is going to be the car payment. If you haven't paid off your car, then I highly recommend doing so, especially if the loan is at a rate higher than 5 or 6%. But a car payment is absolutely critical as well. That's an income trending thing. If you don't have the ability to drive to work and you can't get to work, then you're effectively losing money, which is why car payments make sense as long as it's a car that's within reason. Car insurance, once again, is also considered income driven because no insurance and you technically shouldn't be driving the car. The last thing you need is to get pulled over without insurance and they tow it on you and then you're out $120 a day, which that can absolutely cripple some people financially. Okay, so you've looked at your home payments, whether that's rent or insurance, your internet access fees, your cell phone, your car payments, your car insurance, your electricity, your gas, your grocery bills. So now you have what I call your non-negotiable bare essentials. That means if nothing else, I can survive, I can look for work, and I can do what I do comfortably. So now that you have your non-negotiables down, you know what everything costs, you know how much you need to survive, the next step is going to be making a 6-month emergency fund. Obviously this number can be 3 months if you're in a very stable industry, it can go as high as 8 months, maybe even a year if you're not, but get that saved up first and make that part of your budget. Add savings as a line item where you can. That 6-month emergency fund is going to allow you to be really flexible. If you get laid off, lose your job, or perhaps you're just looking for a change, it gives you a nice 6-month buffer to find the appropriate job, the right fit, at the right dollar amount. And that's critical to success. You don't want to be taking jobs just because they're available. You want to be taking jobs because they're the right fit both financially as well as from your social stats. Here's an example. If you are trained in accounting and you're looking for a new job, say your shop closed or perhaps you're starting out on your own, you don't want to have to take an accounting job that's second shift and doesn't pay as much just because you're running out of money. You want to make sure you're waiting, you're finding the right fit, and then you can roll into that job. So as far as the sample budget is concerned, let's say you have a rent payment of $1,000 a month, your internet is about $40 a month, car insurance is another $50, your electric is $50 a month, and oil for heat is $50 a month, and your food expenditure is about $100 a month. I understand that'd be really cheap, but you can absolutely do it. That would mean your total expenses are $1,290 a month. So what you need to do is strive to get that 6-month emergency fund down. That six month emergency fund means that you have to have $7,740 in an accessible liquid savings account or some other form of account that you can easily get at it in case you need it, And then from there, you can start looking at other investment opportunities. That said, that's a conversation for another day. But I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I'm personally a big fan of the non-negotiables budget. It helps simplify the practice. One thing you might want to do next, and I'll make a video about this as well, is just doing a microservices audit. Because you have your budget down, now you need to identify areas that you can perhaps play a little bit defensively on, save some money, be more frugal, and get more financially independent. Just wanted to make this a nice quick video. Until next time, take care.